it's Shahar again with another Black Girl Builds. Today we're going to be doing something that everyone knows and pretty much everyone loves it. It's back to the MCU stuff for us again, and today we're going to be building Mjölnir. It is huge. It is a huge box. It's a little damaged because I actually got this from Target, but it's a little bit damaged. It's not in pristine condition like when you get from the Lego store, but that's okay because the contents is what matters. So, as everyone calls it, Thor's Hammer. This is part of the Infinity Saga, but the name of Thor's Hammer is Mjölnir. So, I actually will drop a link on how to properly pronounce that as well in the description. Along with, I got this from Target. I will drop that. Also, I believe it's available at Amazon and definitely on the Lego website, of course. So this is 979 pieces, and this is Lego set 76209. So pretty excited to build this. It is just a megalodon box, it feels like, for something on the smaller side, but really excited to see how this turns out. And then, so we're gonna build it, and then we're gonna do a little mini review of it. So stay tuned. Let's build. Okay, y'all, I just wanted to bring this part up. It's pretty embarrassing, kind of-ish. I was going through, I was having a real good flow, feeling what I'm doing. Here I go, getting super confused, have no idea what's going on. Do not know why this piece isn't fitting. You can see me just really confused, even doing the side-to-side mouth, chewing, just truly trying to understand what's going on. And I could not, for the longest time, figure out what was going on. I know this is sped up, but it really felt like an eternity just trying to figure out what was going on. I was counting the little circles and all the pieces, trying to figure out what was going on. So I just started working backwards because I didn't know what else to do, thinking I missed a piece or something like that, because that's happened before. And then, after I break up and start working backwards, this is where I figure it out. And honestly, I'm really glad I figured it out, because That was actually really painful. Totally threw off my groove at how I was building, and it was so early in the game too. So I just wanted to stop and talk about that real quick, because oof. So I do want to provide a little context of the MCU version of Thor's Hammer Mjölnir. And it's basically a powerful, enchanted, war hammer forged by dwarves for the Asgardian royal family. And it was used by Odin before he passed it down to Hela and then to Thor. And as those who have watched the MCU movies, Thor and Thor Dark World and Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, these characters are not new to you. The hammer was used extensively by Thor as his primary weapon until it was destroyed by his unknown sister at the time, Hela. And then it was broken into a whole bunch of pieces and eventually made its way into a tourist attraction in New Asgard. And then after the snap, Thor traveled to an alternate universe and brought Mjölnir back into the universe to defeat Thanos with his other weapon. Oof, I had a total brain fart. So basically, he brought it back from back in time when they did the time heist to beat Thanos. Mjölnir was really reassembled itself in order to bestow power into Jane Foster, who was began to operate as Mighty Thor while she had cancer. Sorry if that was a spoiler alert. However, Mjölnir's power eliminated any attempts to treat Jane's cancer, and you can watch all of that in Thor Love and Thunder. And then essentially after Jane died, Thor regained possession of Mjölnir because he could not regain possession of Mjölnir because Mjölnir was only essentially loyal to Jane Foster during Love and Thunder. I would also like to point out that Captain America, Steve Rogers, was also considered worthy because during Infinity War's Endgame, he actually was able to possess Mjölnir as well, so he was worthy in terms of wielding Thor's power of thunder, which is actually really awesome because back in the Avengers, the Age of Ultron, Steve Rogers actually moved it a little bit when they were all having fun after the party, before Ultron, came to be, as a robot, right after he destroyed Jarvis. So I just thought that was some cool stuff about Mjölnir and Thor. There is a whole bunch of history on how Mjölnir came to be to Odin. There is just a whole bunch of information behind that, and I will link that into the description for the video. I think it's really cool stuff, like the intricacies of the MCU, and how it all ties into each other. And honestly, I just think it's super cool. last piece, Mjölnir can allow Thor to fly. It's really cool because he like swings it and it allows him to get some like essentially some air, and he like takes off, and it looks super cool. And we all wish we could fly easily, even with a hammer, which seems unlikely. And so I just wanted to like point that out. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of history the MCU has created. Not to mention there is a plethora of Norse god history if you're interested in learning about Thor, other Norse gods, the weapons they had, because even the weapons such as Mjölnir have their own background and story associated with those gods. So there is just a crazy amount of information and really cool stuff to read out, whether it's MCU or actual ancient mythology, or in this case, Norse mythology. So if you ever feel the want, definitely go check it out. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. And, I could go into like start to finish of all of this, but I figured it was just something that we should just chat about, and, for you to decide how you want to go about learning it, if you choose to go about learning it. So until then, we'll continue to just watch this super build, and yeah, thanks. Back again, everyone. So apart from dropping pieces, I was feeling what I was doing, and mind you, I've had to take breaks in between a lot of these bags, so it doesn't look like it, but I did take breaks in between. I had to do some other stuff that had nothing to do with Lego build, and so I was taking breaks in between. But one of the things I didn't realize after one of my breaks, including this part, I think I had a snack beforehand, I didn't realize I wasn't filming with my phone an aerial view. Totally missed it. Did not even think about it when I started filming. I'm really glad I started filming at least while I was building, so at least this view exists. But oh my goodness, like as you see, I did quite a bit, and I was on a roll. I was feeling it. I was having fun, and then this realization is popped up right there. And I was like, oof. So I did a little timeout, reset myself, started my phone up, and here we are back to that part. But as you see, part of the build is already done for one side of the hammer. It just really sucked to have that moment in time. And that's why you always see me randomly stand up, because I'm kind of paranoid in terms of making sure that I actually am actively filming. So, yeah, that was just really not fun. It was like the second bigger mistake apart from the initial mistake early on. So a lot of learnings to double check and check twice and check 3 times and 4 times. But yeah, I learned my lesson. And then, but luckily, like I said, the front view shows still me building. But that would have been really unfortunate if I had to redo everything completely to show y'all. So. So I'm not sure why, but I found this last leg of the build to be actually really relaxing. I know it's just very minimal stuff, and it's really just building the stand for the hammer, so it can stand alone on its own, but I actually enjoyed this piece. My favorite part of the build actually was making the actual shaft of the hammer itself by putting the brown and silver pieces on. But so the handle of the hammer, but this actually was probably my second favorite piece building. I actually can't tell you why. You know, they were pretty tiny pieces. It wasn't really hard or anything, but I don't know why. I just kind of felt relaxed and enjoyed myself building the base of it. It was just one of those things like where you're going through and you're just kind of like, oh, this is actually really relaxing and enjoyable in the sense of, it's not necessarily a challenging piece. It was just really calm is how I felt. And it was very distinctive memory of while I was building this. So I just kind of wanted to point that out for anyone who's going to do this build. Like, I would love to know if you kind of felt similar during this piece, or maybe you felt bored with it. But I don't know. I just kind of felt relaxed when I was building it. And like I said, it wasn't because it was really, challenging or anything. It was just the pieces and putting it together like that. It was calming. I don't know. But I did appreciate that, even with my little, trying to find the one or two pieces because they were small. So this came out super awesome, honestly better than I anticipated. It is amazing. Oops, little Thor keeps falling. So I recommend this to anyone who's wanting to continue to build the MCU Infinity Saga Lego builds. This one's super cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Like, I really enjoyed building this. It had small pieces, but not as many small pieces as you would think, such as like Bro Thor, which is right here, and then the Star Wars trench run diorama. So it had small pieces, but not nearly as hard to manipulate to make sure we follow the instructions. Like I said, this was actually super fun. It came out super cool. It is a little on the heavy side because the hammer itself is heavy. I do like how this created just honestly a nice stand to display it. It's actually really cool. I totally messed this up. How did I do this? Okay, there we go. So it looks super cool. It is cool. Highly recommend for building. And if you guys have any sort of suggestions for me to build, please go ahead and drop that in the comment section. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks y'all.